Welcome back to the JJs Declutter Podcast. I'm Julie.
And I'm Janis, and we're here to help you simplify, organize, and create a clutter-free life, one step at a time.
Today, we are diving into the biggest decluttering challenge, clothes. If your closet is bursting at the seams, or your dresser drawers barely close, or sometimes you just feel overwhelmed when you go to pick out an outfit, then this episode is for you.
We'll be walking you through how to declutter your clothes step by step and giving you tips on where to take them afterwards, whether you want to donate, sell, or recycle.
So grab a cup of coffee, get yourself a cocktail, get a big glass of water, get comfy, and let's talk about getting your wardrobe under control. Let's talk about one of the biggest challenges when decluttering clothes, the emotional attachment. So many of us hold on to clothes not because we wear them, but because of the memories that they hold.
Exactly. Maybe it's a dress from a special occasion, a t-shirt from a concert, or even jeans that don't fit anymore, but we're hoping they will someday. These emotional ties can make it really tough to let go.
So true. If you're struggling, try asking yourself, okay, am I keeping this because I actually wear it or because of the memory that's attached to it? For instance, the dress in my closet that I have not worn since my daughter's wedding many years ago. But I honor the memory in another way, like taking a photo before letting it go. Obviously, there's already photos of me in that dress, so I don't even need to take that photo. Would someone else get more use out of this than I am? Absolutely. I haven't worn it. Someone else would be able to wear it and get some use out of it.
And Julie, I love the idea of taking photos. You can keep the memory without keeping the clutter. And if
Right.
something means, if it really means a lot to you, consider repurposing it, like turning old t-shirts into a quilt or framing that t-shirt as a special piece.
Right. We had neighbors that took all their old concert t-shirts and made them into a like a prayer flag chain that it's so cool. And here's a big one. Let go of the someday clothes. Keeping clothes that don't fit or don't suit your current lifestyle just creates guilt every time you see them. And instead, focus on the wardrobe that works for you right now.
Yeah, I tend to call the Sunday clothes my paint clothes. And I don't paint my house that often. So I don't know why I hanging off. I occasionally will take the clothes that have paint on it and toss it and then put the newest old outfit in there. But anyways,
I love it.
and remember, your clothes should serve you, not the other way around. When you let go of what no longer fits your life, you make room for confidence, joy, and a clutter-free space.
Mm-hmm.
So why do we declutter clothes? First, let's talk about that a cluttered closet can make getting dressed stressful, lead to decision fatigue, and even cost you money when you forget what you own and end up going out and buying duplicates.
Exactly. And let's be real. Most of us, we wear the same 20% of our clothes 80% of the time. So if you donate or get rid of those things, you are not allowing that 80% to take up the valuable space in your closet anymore. If you don't wear them, let them be gone.
When you declutter your clothes, you gain clarity, confidence, and more space. Plus, if you donate or sell items, they can benefit someone else instead of sitting unused in your closet.
Absolutely. So let's prep your space and your mindset here. Before you start, we want to get you set up for success. So here's what you're going to need. You're going to need a clear space. So like your bed, maybe the couch or a large table. And you're going to need bags or bins. I suggest bags because we always have those on hand. You always have grocery bags on hand. A positive mindset. This is huge. This is about creating space for what you love. It's not just getting rid of stuff.
And set a time limit. If you don't have time to do everything all at once, and oftentimes, we don't recommend that you do everything all at once because it just becomes so overwhelming. So tackle one category at a time. So, like today just do your tops, and tomorrow just do your shoes, and then do your underwear drawer the next day. You don't have to do it all at one time and pull everything out and end up with that necessary middle.
Correct. You can do it in those small doable doses, and you get so much done that way. So this is the four pile method that we like to use when we are decluttering clothing. Um, Basically, you're going to be making four piles. So the first pile is going to be your keep clothes. They are the ones that you love and you wear them off often and you feel great in them. And then you're going to have your donate and sell pile. So these are the things that are in good condition, but they just don't work for you anymore. And so those ones are actually going to be leaving. You're going to have a third pile of recycle. So that's the worn out or damaged items that are not fit for donation, but there is a lot of recycling of clothing going on. Um, and then the fourth pile is going to be your seasonal and your maybe pile kind of together. These are clothes that you're unsure about or they're for another season. So you're going to put them in a separate box and revisit it in a few months.
So ask yourself these questions when you're deciding what to keep. Number one, do I love this? Number two, do I wear this regularly? Number three, does it fit me well right now? Number four, does this match my current lifestyle? I mean, a lot of us don't wear business casual anymore because we're not going into the office. We're more comfortable in athleisure wear. And the other thing, would I buy it today at full price?
That's a big one. So if you hesitate or you have to talk yourself into keeping something, then it is probably time to let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
All right. So where do you take your decluttered clothes? Now that you sorted through the clothes, what are you going to do with them? So number one on my list is donate. It's the fastest way to get things out of your house and to get them into hands of people who can use them. So where to donate? Local charities and shelters. Women's shelters, homeless shelters, and community organizations always need gently used clothing. The thrift stores like Goodwill, Salvation Army, and other local thrift shops, they all accept these gently used clothing also. And one that's become more popular are clothing drives. Schools, churches, and community centers often have these donation events. In my town, they'll post on our local Facebook community. This high school softball team is going to have a clothing drive. I can come pick it up. And they actually get paid per weight of the items they collect. So that's something to keep in mind. If your items are in really good condition and they still have tags on them and things like that, I mean, I actually have a few things like that, you can sell them. The online platforms are Poshmark, Depop, eBay, and Facebook Marketplace. I think there's one called ThreadUp too. It's one of the newer ones that just has come up over the last 2 or 3 years. And local consignment shops. These resale shops will pay you top dollar for high quality items. And then there's also recycling, because textile recycling bins are becoming much more popular, especially here in California. So check with your city to see whether or not they have clothing recycling programs. And also there are retail take-back programs. Brands like H&M, Levi's, and Patagonia recycle old clothes. And I think there's a undergarment place that also will take back their bras, and I for the life of me, I can't
Soma
remember.
used to do that, SOMA, and I don't know
Yes,
if Soma
Soma.
is even still around, but they do take
Yes.
back bras. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's the one that I was thinking of.
gotcha. So how to build a wardrobe you love? Well, now that you've decluttered, how do you make sure that your wardrobe stays clutter free? It starts with intentional choices when adding new clothes. It also included you being intentional as you were decluttering your clothes.
Mhm.
So you're creating your own wardrobe within colors and sizes and things that work together.
Yes. Instead of impulse shopping, you want to ask yourself, do I truly love this piece, or do I just feel pressured to buy something? It's funny because when you used to invest the time to go into a store and try clothes on, oftentimes you felt like you had to buy things. And it's changed now. Now it's like, okay, I'm looking on whatever, am I going to buy this? And then you have to worry about, well, is this really going to fit me? Is it too expensive? There are all these, or the opposite. It's such a good sale, I really should buy it, even though I've got 5 of them in my closet. So you really need to think is, do you really like it, or do you just feel like buying something?
Right.
Another thing to think about, ask yourself, can I mix and match this with multiple outfits? Because buying something that's just good for one use isn't necessarily a good use of your resources or your space. And also, is it comfortable and flattering for my lifestyle and my body shape?
You bet. Another great tip is finding your personal style. Sometimes we buy things because they looked really good on somebody else and we liked that and we wanted that look. But then those items just sit in our closet because we're a different size and shape than that other person was. So kind of think through that. When you define your go-to colors and silhouettes and must-have basics, you're going to be able to build a wardrobe that actually works for you day in and day out.
And don't forget about quality over quantity. Instead of buying 5 cheap tops that wear out fast, a lot of us have gotten into the habit of buying a disposable item, and that's really not what clothing's supposed to be. Invest in a few well-made, versatile pieces that last longer and make getting dressed easier.
You bet. Lastly, do regular mini declutters. Every few months, take a quick 12 minutes to reassess your wardrobe. Cluttering doesn't. And if something hasn't been worn, if it isn't comfortable or it just doesn't fit your lifestyle anymore, then it's time to let it go.
I love that. The key is to make decluttering a habit, not a once or twice a year chore. And speaking of habits, let's talk about how to keep your closet organized for the long haul.
You bet. Even after a big declutter, it's easy for clutter to creep back in. So, the trick to maintaining a decluttered closet is to have some simple systems in place so that you can stay on top of it.
So let's go over a few strategies that make a big difference. Number 1, follow the 1 in, 1 out rule.
Peel out.
Yes, Julie likes to remind us that if you bring 1 in and you take 2 out, that you're actually decluttering. You're not maintaining
The level of stuff in your house.
equilibrium. So if
Right.
you buy something new, let's let go of 1 or 2 of something old. Um, do a quick seasonal declutter every 3 to 6 months. Store off-season clothing separately so your closet isn't overcrowded and filled to the brim. And let's be intentional. Only buy clothes you truly love and need.
When you make these small habits part of your routine, maintaining a clutter-free wardrobe becomes effortless. And that means less stress and more confidence every time you get dressed
I was just
again.
thinking of clothing thoughts
Right.
instead of
Let's
clothing
give you
thoughts.
some clothing thoughts. I mean, closing thoughts. Decluttering your clothes doesn't have to be overwhelming. Take it step by step. Be kind to yourself and focus on creating a wardrobe that works for you.
And remember, it's not about getting rid of stuff. It's about making space for things that bring you joy and confidence.
You bet. We hope that today's episode gave you the motivation and practical steps to start clearing out your closet. And if you found this helpful,
Why not pass it along? If you know somebody who'd use a little decluttering inspiration, share this episode with them.
you bet. You can always join our private Facebook group at ABC Declutter with JJ-community to connect with others. And these other people, they're on the same journey you are. So it's really helpful.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at ABC Declutter with JJ and check out abcdeclutter.com, our website, for more tips, resources, and support.
Thanks for spending time with us today, and we will see you next time on the JJs Declutter Podcast. So until then, keep it simple.
Keep it intentional.
And as always,
Keep
keep
decluttering.
decluttering.